Welcome back to Relationships at Work, your guide to building workplace connections and avoiding those leadership blind spots. I'm your host, Russel Lolacher, a communications and leadership nerd with a couple of successful decades in those areas and a whole heap of curiosity on how we can make the workplace a better place. If you're a leader trying to understand and improve your impact on work culture and the employee experience, well, you're in the right place. This is our Thursday mini episode, just a quick and valuable bit of information to get you prepared for the week ahead. They are all inspired by our Raw Note newsletter, which I highly encourage you check out, subscribe to, and enjoy. But this week, the note I'm passing on to you, human skills are anything but soft. It's taken a while, but the term soft skills to refer to human-centric skills is starting to get challenged. Finally. Hopefully, this becomes less common, this term soft skills. Thank God. It's about time. Words matter. And soft is such a minimization of the power of this very essential leadership skill set. I can tell you right now, if you're not good at soft skills, you're not a good leader. Full hard stop. I'm sure when soft skills, I'll use air quotes here, was first coined, there wasn't much thought of it. It was just a way of differentiating it from the hard skills, practical skills, I'm sure they would call them. Apparently, the US military is usually credited with the early adoption and popularization of the soft skills term. This is going back to the 1960s and 70s. Recognizing that technical skills were not sufficient for leadership and effectiveness in military operations, so leading to the conclusion that they figured soft skills training was needed for their programs, and so they implemented it. It does seem weird that an organization known for prioritizing the importance of leadership, they're very hierarchical, would use language that could be seen as diminishing when it comes to something so important. Weird. For some reason, it's still the preferred term if you look for searches on Google and Bing. Not human skills, not core skills, soft skills. Our previous guest, Jen Buck, called them something I love, power skills. And yet, if these skills are so important, why do we seem to assume leaders have them? If you don't agree with that, why don't organizations do leadership skill reviews? Yeah? If your organization does, please reach out to me because I know of no organization that actually does. Performance reviews, absolutely. But it's all about productivity, not about did you create other leaders? Did you help somebody in your team overcome a challenge? Did you help them on their career path? We don't ask leadership-focused questions in job interviews. Why don't we hold leaders accountable when they miss the mark or allow bad leadership under their responsibility? We take it for granted that these leaders have soft skills when it's far more focused on results rather than how we get those results. You know, the healthy organization part? Okay, I'm going to peel back here and go, you know what? I like essential skills. I like core skills instead of soft. It just feels right. So why? Why are these skills not taken seriously? We're using minimizing language and we're not following up when it comes to checking in and evaluating our leaders around these skills. So here's a few reasons why we need to take these skills more seriously. Number one, it is just essential for effective leadership. We can't talk about things like human and passionate and curious and kind leadership without them. Skills like empathy, active listening, effective communication, these are just key to understanding and motivating team members. They're also pretty important for resolving conflicts and creating positive work environments. We lead people, after all, not robots or widgets. These are not peripheral or secondary skills. They are central to successful leadership. Number two, they are super hard to master. Contrary to what the term soft may imply, these skills are often much harder to develop and master. They require continuous self-awareness skills, learning, practice. Emotional intelligence, for example, involves a very deep understanding of our own emotions and the emotions of others, which is not an easy skill to cultivate especially if it doesn't come naturally, and it doesn't for a lot of people. And even if it does come naturally, which it can, it's just a muscle that we need to exercise all the time or it'll atrophy. We can't just assume it's always going to be there. Number 3, why are soft skills so important? They have a direct impact on business outcomes. These skills have a direct link to that productivity we value so much. Effective communication, it leads to better team collaboration and productivity. And when I say communication, I don't mean the talk at kind, but the talk with variety. Real communication. Anyway, I don't want to sidetrack here. Empathy can improve customer relations, employee satisfaction, which in turn leads to increased loyalty, better business performance. Soft skills matter. Funny what happens when we show we genuinely care, huh? It inspires, it motivates. That comes from these skills. That retains employees, which is a lot cheaper to do than hiring all the time. Number 4, they are quantifiable and measurable. This is often where there will be pushback. Why do I care about soft skills? I can't measure it. You can't. Human-centered leadership skills can be quantified and measured just like most technical skills. You can do it through feedback surveys, performance reviews, other metrics. Organizations can assess the impact of these skills on team dynamics and business results. We just have to treat these mechanisms seriously and then follow up and measure them frequently. And last, I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but there is a lot of change. We talk about resiliency, but soft skills are where resiliency lives. So number 5 on why soft skills are so important, it helps with those changing work environment demands. The modern work environment, especially with the rise of remote work and global teams, it demands a high level of competence in these skills. So much change. The ability to connect with and lead a team, a diverse team, a remote team, it requires more than just technical know-how. It requires strong interpersonal and cultural sensitivity skills. Soft skills. I can't believe how many times I've heard in news articles where CEOs talk about, I don't know how to build a culture with remote workers. I is the key part of that sentence. You know what I hear when I hear an executive say that statement? A lack of adaptability, a lack of effective leadership, a lack of essential skills, core skills, power skills, soft skills. At least that CEO is letting us know who they are and how they'll fail the culture and the employees. They're being really open and honest about it, even if they don't know that's what they're doing. Calling these skills, these soft skills, anything but essential implies they are a nice to have, rather than integral to the growth and maintenance of a healthy culture. If we're not sure how much value our culture puts on them, look at the questions I mentioned earlier that we ask in job interviews, in what we reward and punish, in what we focus on for performance reviews. That's a great litmus test to know how much do we really take this stuff seriously. We're already being very loud and clear to our teams in how we value them, posters, vision, mission statements, values, but are we as leaders really listening? Essential skills are the DNA of a healthy organization. If we don't understand that, we may be contributing to a culture that's doing more harm than good. That is all. That is a mini episode of Relationships at Work, your guide to building workplace connections and avoiding leadership blind spots. I'm Russell. Always love spending time with you. If you have a moment and you've really enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to check out Raw Notes, which inspires these mini episodes. You just go to russellolacher.com or relationshipsatwork.ca, and at the top, right there, sign up for the free Raw Note newsletter. It's a few months ahead, so you'll actually be getting a sneak peek into what episodes are to come, but it'll help you with a little bit mindset shifting for the week ahead, for the month ahead, for the career ahead. Anyway, thank you so much for your support, and I always appreciate having this time with you. Take care.